going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Talk. As usual, I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy. What's going on, everybody? Listen, if it is your first time watching one of our videos, be sure, honestly, even if you're a recurring watcher, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It helps out the channel a bunch. I'm hoping to maybe get 1,000 subs by opening day. I don't know, but it's my goal. Maybe we'll see if it happens. But listen, the topic I do want to talk about today is Trevor Rosenthal. We're talking about what I think is the best reliever still on the current free agent market. And honestly, I think he would be an awesome fit for the New York Yankees. But before I do get into Rosenthal and why I think he would be a perfect fit on the Yankees, I kind of want to dig into the Yankees bullpen currently and kind of examine why he would be an awesome fit for them. First off, Aroldis Chapman is the closer, right? I know a lot of people hate on Chapman because like the 2019 Altuve home run, last year the home run to Brasso. Listen, I understand Chapman has had his hiccups in big moments in the past few years, like obviously. But like let's not forget he's still a pretty good reliever. I would say he's a really good reliever, probably still top 10 in the game. So I'm still fairly confident in him as the Yankees closer moving forward. Then you also got Zach Britton, who I think honestly he could switch into the closer role whenever needed, and he'll still be just as dominant. Then you got guys like Chad Green, who I think is awesome. Then the Yankees recently signed Darren O'Day as well. I think Darren O'Day is going to be one of the most underrated acquisitions of the offseason, not only for the Yankees, but probably across the league. He was pretty good last year with the Braves. And listen, I think he just provides the Yankees with the type of reliever that they've been looking for and the type that they've needed. But outside of that, I don't necessarily see any arms currently in that Yankee bullpen that I would be comfortable with going to in a tight situation. We saw how brutal the Yankees bullpen was against Tampa Bay. They were forced to use Chapman in the 7th inning of Game 5 just because A, their bullpen was so gassed, and B, they didn't necessarily have any solid options to go to late in the game. I remember, I think it was Game 2 of the Wild Card Series, they were forced to go to Jonathan Loáisiga late in the game just because they didn't have any better options. That leads me now to Trevor Rosenthal. Trevor Rosenthal, former Yankee legend, by the way. They signed him, I think, August 19th, 2019 to a minor league deal. I could be wrong. I think he only pitched like one inning in the Yankees minor league system, but that was still when he was like kind of like making his comeback from like, Brandon told me he had the yips apparently. I don't remember that, but apparently it happened. So yeah, now 2020, he had an awesome season with the Padres. I think he only pitched in like 23 games maybe, but he was still awesome, under a 2 ERA. Listen, we're talking about a guy who I would probably rely on in a late game situation, for sure. Definitely over guys like Jonathan Loáisiga, and this isn't shitting on Jonathan Loáisiga. I just think I would trust a guy like Trevor Rosenthal better over Loáisiga, Nick Nelson, Brooks Kriske. Maybe not Sessa. I kind of like Sessa. I'm a Sessa guy. You could say that. I know a lot of people hate him too, but he was pretty solid in the 2020 season, and also 2019 playoffs. Maybe I just have a false memory here, but I remember him being pretty solid against the Houston Astros. Don't take me to the bank on that one. I could be wrong, but I remember him having at least one solid performance. But yeah, Trevor Rosenthal. We're talking about a guy who's a strikeout machine, and I would definitely trust him going late in games. And also the whole thing about Rosenthal is I don't see him commanding a lot of money. We just saw Alex Colomé sign for what, 1 year, $6.5 million maybe? I could definitely see Rosenthal getting a similar type of deal. Earlier on in the offseason, I was assuming he would probably get like a Trevor May type of deal, 2 years, $15 million. But after seeing he only pitched in, I believe, 23 games last year with the Padres, I don't necessarily see it happening. Let me just pull up his stats here really quick. Okay, so he had a 1.9 ERA, he had a 41% K percentage, which translated to a 14.45 K over 9. But let me just confirm how many games he pitched last year. So yeah, in 2020, he split the season between the Royals and the Padres, most of the time with the Royals. But once he got over the Padres, he pitched 9 games and didn't even give up a run. So listen, I really want Trevor Rosenthal. I know I talk about this like all the time on the live streams and the podcast. I just think he would make so much sense at this point. The only way I don't see Trevor Rosenthal falling into the Yankees' plans is honestly one of two things. One, they think that Brett Gardner might be a better option for them to use their money, because I could see Brett Gardner probably demanding like a $5 million deal. And if they sign Gardner back, I don't see Rosenthal being too realistic, because they don't want to go over the salary, the luxury tax threshold, whatever it is. And also, number two would be they're confident in the guys they have in the bullpen now. They're confident in guys like Nick Nelson. They're confident in guys like Brooks Krisky, Loaizaga, that late in games this year, they'll be able to go to them. And it just sucks, because we're coming off a couple years ago when the Yankees used to have a completely dominant bullpen. Like, we used to have a bullpen of Robertson, Canely, Betances, Chapman, Britton might have been in that bullpen too, Green. I mean, we're talking about a bullpen that was dominant. And now we're looking at a bullpen that has three guys that are mostly pretty reliable, and then one guy like Darren O'Day, who's mostly reliable as well, but I wouldn't put him in the same class just yet as the others. So listen, Brian Cashman, if you're watching this, sign Trevor Rosenthal. I truly think this man would be an awesome acquisition for the Yankees. And the offseason's kind of winding down, so maybe he gets desperate. Maybe the price lowers a little bit. But my prediction is going to be, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say Trevor Rosenthal signs with the Yankees, 1 year, $6 million. Book it. Book it. But, yeah, that's going to wrap things up for us today. I just want to make a quick little video because, listen, obviously, like, I really think the Yankees should improve the bullpen. And my number one guy would be Amir Garrett. I don't really see that happening necessarily. So that's why my sights are set fully on Trevor Rosenthal. Listen, I just had to come here on here really quickly and kind of explain to you guys why I want Trevor Rosenthal so bad. Hopefully you got something out of the video. I really do appreciate everyone who watches, likes, comments, subscribes. Really do appreciate all you guys. We do go live on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter. Mostly every night around 9 p.m. We also go live like when there's breaking news. We went live yesterday when Trevor Bauer signed with the Dodgers. So I usually do like those breaking news lives too. I also go live on Twitch just about every night as well at 10 p.m. twitch.tv/unhingednewyork. Be sure to go check that out. But yeah, appreciate everyone for stopping by. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. Peace.